Well, for some insight on the legality of banning Muslims from entering the United States, we are joined by Stephen Yale-Loehr. He's a professor of law at Cornell University and a prominent authority on immigration. Thanks for being with us, sir.
Glad to be here.
So a lot of people are asking this, constitutionally speaking, can this be done? I mean, our Constitution protects everyone. The First Amendment protects the freedom of religion. How would this be done?
Well, first, Congress would have to pass a law. The mere fact that Trump utters the words doesn't make it law, so we'd have to see politically whether Congress would enact that. Number two, if they did, then it would be up to the Supreme Court to decide whether it's constitutional. People overseas don't have any constitutional rights, but their loved ones in the United States certainly have a First Amendment right to be with their loved ones, and prohibiting that could be challenged on that ground. It could also be challenged on equal protection or due process grounds because he's denying an entire group of people based on religion from entering the United States. It's ironic because the United States was founded on people trying to flee from religious persecution, and here's Donald Trump saying that those kinds of people would no longer be able to come to the United States.
Steve, let's talk about Japanese internment camps. Has any sort of precedent been set here to make something like this constitutionally sound?
Well, unfortunately, the Supreme Court did uphold the constitutionality of internment camps, but a couple of years ago, Congress passed a resolution apologizing for that. So I think we've learned from our historical mistakes, and I would hope that we would not repeat them now.
You know, it's interesting as well. I mean, I'm trying to think, and he hasn't been very clear, Donald Trump, on how he would actually do this. You're talking about millions of people, millions of Muslims who are serving in our armed forces, millions of Muslims who have family overseas. And I keep thinking, Stephen, about back in Nazi Germany, these guys going around asking people, "Are you Jewish? Are you a Jew?" I mean, you can't ask somebody if they're trying to come into this country, "What religion are you?"
No, you can't do that. We have a Constitution that protects us against that, and that's why it's so unpalatable and why I think it's illegal. And particularly for people who are naturalized U.S. citizens who are serving in our military, to then deny them the right to return to the United States because they served in our military in Iran, Afghanistan, or other areas just seems totally ludicrous. People have a right to travel on their passports, and you can't take that away from them. So that's another challenge that could be brought, at least for those Muslim Americans who are naturalized U.S. citizens.
And I do believe Trump said that people who are away serving at war, who are already here, would have the right to come back. It would just be new arrivals in the U.S. But I mean, we talked about Congress having to pass some kind of an act. What's the probability, the chances of something like that actually happening?
Well, right now, I think the chances are quite low. It's very hard to get any immigration provisions through Congress. Unfortunately, if there were another terrorist attack, the chances might improve then. But at this point, I think it's just political demagoguery, and it should be called out for what it really is.
Professor Stephen Yale-Loehr, professor of law, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.